the team played about as well and hard. Those guards really played hard, and you know, when just don't have the depth yet when Marty and especially Tyson got in foul trouble in that first half and we had a 7-point lead. We just didn't respond very well. I changed the lineup for a reason. It was to light a fire under AJ for not doing the things that I need done as a point guard, to his credit. He responded extremely well, about the only guy that played with the toughness and the sense of urgency you need. But Tyson got taken out of it with the fouls. You know, the number of ball screens they ran. When Marty was in there, it was pretty good, but we struggled with other guys. Tried to play Jaden because we were going to play him, and decided to start him, number one, because of AJ, but number two, I might have started him in front of somebody else, but once he warmed up, I didn't want him sitting there for 6-7 minutes, so I was hoping he'd play 16-18 minutes. He played 22, but a couple times I thought we did a poor job getting him out of there, and I thought he was tired. We gave up some baskets. Really gotta take my hat off to Nicholson and Roper, two guys that I think would have wanted to come here. You know, it's Nicholson's night when you bank in a free throw. He's a 40% shooter, and he made 3 or 4. And I admire guys like that probably want to stick it up my tail, and I don't blame them. And but most of all, we didn't play good enough, and they did a hell of a job. I thought out-coached us, out-played us, out-toughed us, and that's a good team. I got 4 guys back that have played a lot of minutes, and those 3 guards are really good. And we let Barry get going early, and couldn't find a way to hang on once we got in foul trouble second half. So, questions?
I'm wondering about that. The experience factor with them trying to get deep and get to the line. I guess, what did you see there? Was that kind of where you saw?
Yeah, you know, I was disappointed, and I thought it was a physical game, but for them to shoot 21 to 24 free throws, first of all, they're not that good a free throw shooting team, and I give them credit that they made them, but pretty good discrepancy there. But you know, all those things mean aggressive, but the line more. They'll rebound us by 1. The turnovers in the second half, you know, even though 13 is a ridiculous number, the numbers that, you know, it says points off turnovers, you know, they're 13. It's skewed a little bit. We had 10, they had 13, but we had to earn ours. They went down and made layups and at least 4 of theirs. So probably our half-court defense wasn't as bad as I think, and I'll watch that, but you turn the ball over for touchdowns like we did 3 times in the second half alone. Those are backbreakers.
I'm wondering how you assess Jaden coming back and then kind of want to pitch count, but it seemed like you're using him a lot. Where do you kind of see where you are?
Well, we hope to use him 16 to 18 minutes like we did when he came back the first time. We played him 22 because he wasn't hurting, but he was hurting conditioning wise, not foot wise. So, you know, he hit the first shot, poetic justice, and then you know, struggled some when he was tired, and we got to do a better job of subbing him. So again, that falls on the coaches. So I got to do a better job.
Coach, what do you think about Pierre's performance tonight? You know, playing all but 10 minutes and collecting 3 threes.
Well, that's the dilemma that we're in right now. We have some guys that can make shots, and some guys that can guard people, and not enough guys that can do both. And so Pierre played okay. He made some shots. We had some issues defensively, and one of the things, you know, if you play 30 minutes, you hope to get more than 2 rebounds. So he's got to rebound and defend better. He made a couple of shots, but you know, 3 for 7 from the 3 is good, but 3 for 10 is not as good. So he played okay.
Tom, how much stock do you put into your team's performance without Malik from X's and O standpoint? Obviously, he adds to the toughness, like you mentioned, but schematically, without him, how much is there to take away from a loss like this?
I don't know, it really doesn't matter, because we don't have them, we won't have them for another couple of weeks, so, you know, I can't worry about it, it's not the same, we just can't, you know, when they go small, we don't have that option right now, and we're playing Joey 38 minutes a game, so that's a little bit of a problem, but it is what it is, you know, you combine the brutal travel and the 2 guys out, because Jaden will not be back to normal for at least 2 weeks. So each day he'll get a little better, and then it'll take Malik time to get a little better. But those are 2 pretty important players, and hopefully when we get them back, we'll become a better team. But in the meantime, we got to win games, and we're capable of winning games. We're capable of winning that game tonight. Like I said, Tyson was kind of out of it because of the foul trouble. I think he let that really get to him, and Marty had hurt us when he got in foul trouble too, to be honest.
Tom, before Jaden's injury against Villanova, you had a nice thing going with those 3 guards and sort of working off each other. And they seem to be talking to each other a lot, trying to get that back tonight. I'm wondering, not just him getting back, but in terms of getting that cohesion back, how long do you think that takes?
Well, if you look at Bowie, Adish, and Barry, it's been 3 and 4 years for those guys, you know. It's going to take some time, but we did have a nice, you know, but that's the way it works. And but there's no excuse to make some of the turnovers we made either. I mean, we have enough to blame ourselves on, and probably coaching decisions on leading, you know, not really understanding. We got a little, hands got tied there when we had the 7-point lead, when I think Tyson was out and probably played Jaden a little too long, conditioning wise. Nothing with his foot, there's no issues at all, but conditioning wise, he was pretty beat. So it'll take some time, but I don't know, I think the biggest thing is we still gotta get back in our own flow as far as practicing, you know. I said to my staff, Doug Wojcik sent me a text 2 nights ago. He said, you know, that was the 2nd practice in 12 days that we had to work on us. So of all the things I did with the scheduling, I don't regret one of them except the timing of things. The one thing I learned is we did not get any time to work on Michigan State. It was just walk through for this team, walk through for that team. And so hard to develop those young guys, and the young guys are, Monty needs developing, you know, he played 4 or 5 minutes a game last year. Pierre needs some developing, and then the 3 freshmen when the 2 guys went out. So I think that's been the biggest disappointment from my standpoint about what I did, not what they did. So we're just gonna have to, now we get some practice time, you know, but I mean, what do we get? We get a day tomorrow and then a day before a game, you know. So it'll happen during, hopefully finals, and then during Christmas. And we'll see where we go, but we're good enough to win these games. We're good enough to beat just about anybody we played so far. And yet, the disappointment to me tonight was I thought we competed, we guarded pretty good. I mean, they shot 42 and 30, that's not bad. But I thought toughness-wise, you know, they banged us and we push off, and that was a tough call on Tyson, that 4th one. But, you know, we weren't able to take the banging they did, and they deserve it. Those guys are all, looked at them. Shit, I'm happy for Chris. He did a hell of a job, and he's gone through a lot himself, and people over there ripping him for this and that. Not easy at Northwestern to do what he's done, losing some players that he lost, but he deserves a lot more credit on this whole thing than maybe I gave him early. He did his job, and he got those guys ready. I told Adish after the game, I told Bowie, and this is the greatest coaching thing I can tell Chris. Those guys just shot shots last year. I thought they threw up shots, and I didn't think they guarded very well. And right now, that might be as good a defensive team. You know, they held Auburn to 42 or 3 points that I've seen as far as come at you and get after you. And they're all experienced guys, and they're all at the perimeter, and then they rotate guys inside. He's done a hell of a job getting Adish to become more of a passer. played under control compared to last year. Maybe it was the haircut and the whole look, but I give him a lot of credit. I told him that after the game. And I thought even boo-booey, there were no crazy shots, and he guarded. And so that is a better Northwestern team because the way they guard, they're a very good defensive team.
Tom, 12 free throw attempts again tonight. How do you get to the line more?
Yeah, we're not getting downhill at all, other than AJ. You know, Tyson, a little disappointed. I didn't think he was aggressive enough early. I told him that. And Pierre isn't that kind of player. The guy that is Jaden. And I think he's still a little gun shy, you know, to be honest with you. And rightfully so. I mean, I look at what experiences I've had with who was my good guard with Cassius, Josh Langford. You know, Josh went through the same thing. And so, you know, I thought considering Jaden has practiced probably a week and a half in the last 13 weeks, you know, he was off 9 weeks, then he practiced, played in the game, and practiced for 2 weeks, and then he went down again and was out another 2 weeks. So he's been out 11 of the last 13 weeks. I thought he did a pretty good job considering. And he was fired up to play. It just, we didn't have a choice either. We had to play.
I wonder for you, with the course of the last week and those 2 games, having seen kind of where this team can get to over those first couple of weeks, how do you kind of juggle that from a coaching standpoint, knowing that they can do it, but there are some limitations at the moment?
Yeah, I think somebody told me tonight that Nebraska went to Creighton and beat the hell out, you know. I said a long time ago to a lot of you when the season started that you're going to see, because of all the, you know, we're going to get like the NFL where mediocrity is, you know, North Carolina just lost its 4th game in a row. I think that's going to be the norm. And, but our problems tonight was the team was more physical than us, and that doesn't happen to us very often. Now, Malik and Jaden are 2 big parts of that for us. I'm not stupid, and I can't make excuses, and I got to live with reality. So the reality is we got to find a way to win some games till we get everybody back, and I do think we'll become a very, very good team. But we got to do a better job than we did tonight, and yet that sounds like I'm not giving Northwestern credit. I thought they played really well. I really did.
All set, guys?